Hello, students. I am Dr. Mrs. A.S. Kerur, Principal KLS Gupte PU College, Belagavi. So, I hope you all are keeping good health and you all have become used to the online classes which we have started last week. In today's session, I am going to deal with the topic Principles of Inheritance and Variation. So the total weightage for this topic is 10 marks in the PUC secondary examination, and the split up will be told to you at the end of the topic. So let us start with the introduction. Students, do you know why there are similarities between parents and offspring? Or sometimes you find the differences between them too. We also wonder why siblings sometimes look so similar to each other or sometimes so different. Yes, the answer to all these questions can be explained in this topic Principles of Inheritance and Variation. The branch dealing with these two aspects forms a separate branch of biology called as genetics, which is an interesting topic to be studied. So, before I proceed with the topic, let me define two important terms. They are inheritance and variation. So, what is inheritance? It is the process by which characters are passed from parent to the progeny, which forms the basis of heredity. So, progeny here means child. Students, you might have observed there are the certain characters like curly hair, dimple on the chin, attachment of ear pinna, the complexion, height, these are directly passed on from parent to the progeny. So these transmission of characters from one generation to the next generation is called heredity. The reason for transmission of characters is mainly the chromosomes, which are considered as vehicles of heredity, because these chromosomes are containing genes and these genes are chemically made up of DNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, and this DNA molecule, which is called as a cellular library, has got a unique property called replication. It can make an exact copy of itself, and those copies are passed on to the next generation for several years. So, this is heredity. Now, what is variation? It is the degree by which progeny differ from their parent. Now the question comes, why the progeny differs from its parent? Here also DNA plays an important role. As I told you, DNA is the genetic material and our biological characters are controlled by genes. So if DNA molecule undergoes a sudden drastic change, which is called as mutation, it brings about variations. And these variations are the raw materials for evolution. Now, the study of genetics was first time taken up by a scientist named Sir Gregor Johann Mendel. He was the first scientist to make systematic study of genetics, and he proposed the fundamental laws of inheritance in living organisms. So, let us have a brief history about Gregor Johann Mendel. Gregor Johann Mendel was born in the year 1822 into an ethnic German family in Henzendorf, Austrian Silesia, Austrian Empire, now in Czech Republic. He was born to a poor farmer. The family valued education, but they didn't have any resources to send Mendel to school. Mendel was a brilliant child and initially he studied philosophy. Then he joined the Church of Brunn in 1843 with the hope to get an opportunity for learning. He was made the monk there, and then he took the name Gregor upon entering into monastic life. In the year 1851, Mendel was deputed to University of Vienna for studying science and mathematics for teacher certification. But Mendel was a very quiet and shy person, and giving oral teaching examination was a little bit difficult task for him. So he failed twice. But failure in the examination of teaching certificate did not suppress his zeal for scientific quest. He went back to his monastery and started growing pea plant. Garden pea plant, the biological name of garden pea plant is Pisum sativum. He blended his knowledge of science and mathematics. So he was the first person to give mathematical base to the study of genetics. He conducted the hybridization experiments from 1857 for a period of almost 8 years. In the year 1865, Mendel presented the results of his plant hybridization experimental studies on pea plant before the Society for the Study of Natural Science in Brunn. But it had little impact and his work was unnoticed by the scientific world. So his work was not grasped by the scientific world then because it was much ahead of its time. So Mendel did not get any recognition during his lifetime. He died in the year 1884 at the age of 61 due to kidney disorders. But in the year 1900, Mendel's work was rediscovered by three botanists working independently, namely Hugo de Vries of Holland, Karl Correns of Germany, and Erich Schemack of Austria. And surprisingly, they all obtained results similar to those of Mendel. So Mendel's work was recognized almost after 30 years, and the scientific world, by recognizing his outstanding contributions, honored him with a title Father of Genetics. But it was all posthumous. Mendel had once said, "My day will come," and this day came almost after 30 years. So we still remember Mendel's work, and that was the basis of all the genetical studies. And his work was later came to be known as Mendelism. Now, the question comes, why Mendel chose the garden pea plant for his experimental work? He would have chosen some other plant also. But there are certain specific reasons why Mendel chose garden pea plant for his experimental work. So let us know the reasons one by one. First one is the pea plant always breeds true because the plant is hermaphrodite. The meaning of hermaphrodite here is the flower bears both male and female reproductive organ in one and the same flower. So it is also called as bisexual, and the reproductive organs are enclosed within the petals. So there is no scope for any outside source. So the plant breeds true, and the phenotype of the progeny is similar to that of the parent. Phenotype here is the external or the morphological characters. Second character is garden pea plants are easy to cultivate due to their short lifespan. So it is easy to study the life cycle since the life cycle is very rapid and the time taken for its entire growth is very fast. So it is easy to get the results, and that's the reason why Mendel chose garden pea plant. He wanted the results very fast. Third reason is they require minimum space and time for their growth and is quite economical. Fourth reason is the plant shows distinct contrasting characters. So the meaning of the term distinct contrasting characters here is opposing opposite traits of the same feature. Let me give an example here with respect to height. In garden pea plant, the height can occur in two different forms. They are tall and dwarf. Similarly, with respect to the flower color, garden pea plant produces violet flowers as well as white flowers. So these characters are called as contrasting characters. The visual chart to represent different contrasting characters will be shown to you in my next slide. And the fifth reason is it was possible to conduct cross pollination by transferring pollen grains from one flower to another. So, what is cross pollination? The transference of pollen grains from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower. Stigma is the receptive organ of the female reproductive structure, and pollen grains are the male reproductive structures. So, the cross between two different flowers is called as cross pollination, and the cross between the single flower is called as self pollination. So you have already studied this in PUC first year. The sixth reason is all the pea plants produce a large number of seeds. So that is very, very important. Large number of seeds are required to grow many generations of plants to get different results. So that is the reason why Mendel selected garden pea plants for his experimental studies. Now this is the chart, as I told you in my previous slide. This chart shows 7 contrasting characters with respect to the garden pea plant. First, let us start with the seed shape. In garden pea plant, the seeds can occur in two alternate forms. What are those? Spherical shape and wrinkled shape. Same with respect to the seed color. It produces yellow seeds and green seeds. Flower color, purple color and white color. Pod shape, pod here refers to the pea's fruit. So here this is inflated pod and this is constricted. What is the meaning of inflated? Straight margin, and constricted is it has got the curves here. So this is called as constricted and this is called as inflated. And next one is pod color. So it produces green pods as well as yellow pods. So these are again alternative forms of the same feature. What is the same feature here? Pod color is taken into consideration. Next one is flower position. So what is the meaning of flower position? In case of garden pea plant, the flower produced are in two forms, axial and terminal. What is axial? Axial is the flower which is produced in the corner of stem and leaf. So this is the cornered flower. So this is called as axial flower. What is the terminal flower? The flower which is produced at the tip of the stem is called as terminal flower. So one type of flower is axial and one type of flower is terminal. Terminal is tip and axial is corner. Next one is stem height. So this garden pea plant produces two different type of plants with respect to height, tall and dwarf. Dwarf is short plant. So because of these 7 contrasting characters, it was very easy for Mendel to undertake hybridization experiments. And in the next session, I am going to deal with Mendel's experiments, monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross. So to understand monohybrid and dihybrid, you should be perfect with these 7 contrasting characters. So I'll continue in my next session. Till then, thank you and keep studying. Whatever is important in this topic, you go through, and next topic I will take a revision of this part and then proceed with the second session. Thank you, students.